Hello and welcome to Gym World Worldwide, the #1 fitness business and news podcast in Nunavut and Rapa Nui. I'm John Franklin, joined with my friends Mateo Lopez and Mark Fisher. Here are this week's best and worst stories. So influencer Mr. Beast released a video on the Lex Friedman podcast that said short form vertical video is the meta for all platforms. Let's take a look.
People who do social media listening to this will probably find this pretty interesting. Is picture like the content creation meta 3 years ago versus now, where you can make sub 1 minute vertical content and it go viral on TikTok, it go viral on YouTube Shorts, it go viral on Instagram Reels, it goes viral on Facebook, it goes Reddit. You swipe through vertical content now, and Twitter when you click on a video and you flip through it. So this is actually very weird. This is the first time in the history of, I guess, Western social media that one form of content could actually go super viral on every single platform. It's never been like that before.
So they're going viral individual. They're not
like I can post something
or whatever.
I can post something on TikTok that will get 100 million views, and then post it on Shorts and it'll get 200 million views, and then post it on Instagram and it get 50 million views, and then I haven't yet, but you can then turn around and tweet it and it get tens of millions of views, and you can post it on Reddit and it get tens of millions of views, and Facebook and get tens of millions of views, and that just wasn't a thing 3 years ago. Twitter didn't have. Because a lot of you probably don't even know this, but when you tap on a video now and you swipe down, it just turns into TikTok. That wasn't a thing even a year ago. Reddit, that wasn't a thing a year ago. Probably 2 years ago, that wasn't a thing on Instagram. 3 years ago, that wasn't a thing on YouTube, right, with YouTube Shorts. So this is all new. And it's weird. I haven't heard a single person talk about it. But this is the first time where content can actually go viral on every single platform. And you don't have to write or film a video for Facebook, film a 12-minute video for YouTube, film a sub 60-second video for TikTok, write a tweet for Twitter, and post this on Reddit. You can just do the same thing on every platform.
So as someone who's trying to grow a following on multiple platforms, I really want to believe it, and it is music to my ears, but it makes sense. Like, do you guys watch TikTok? Do you scroll Reels at all?
I have not downloaded TikTok, but I do scroll on Instagram Reels.
You've never watched TikTok, like a single TikTok?
I've watched TikTok, yes. I don't have the app, but yes.
I have just started using TikTok purely for professional research. I can't say it speaks to me necessarily, but overall, I think this feels completely correct. I think what he's saying is spot on. And it's an interesting thing where finally, the tail of consumer preference is wagging the dog of our technological oligarchs that rule our society with an iron fist. If this is the type of thing that everybody likes, it makes sense that all the platforms are landing on. Everybody likes vertical videos, like F everything else. This is what we're going in on.
I used to be on like Instagram. I just came back after a 2.5 year hiatus. Follow me, John is building. And I was always able to stop the scroll, right? So if I was like starting to fall into that hole when it was just static images, it was very easy for me to say, okay, like 10 minutes has passed. Let me go do the next thing I need to do to be a productive human in life. With TikTok, it just does not happen. Like, I can open that app and just kind of like wake up from the coma and realize, oh, it's been like 90 minutes. What happened? I just watched like 50 dog videos. And part of like why everyone's competing for vertical videos, because it is so addicting, and it does extend watch time on these apps so much, because you can consume like so much content in such a short amount of time. And these little like 60-second videos, like a lot of times they're shorter than that. They just shoot dopamine directly into your, it's like the difference between cocaine and crack. You're just freebasing dopamine into your system, and it feels so good.
So good.
Yeah, so that's why I have not downloaded it yet. Is exactly for the reasons you just said.
We're going to play a little bit of a game. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one person's content, and then you guys are going to guess how many followers they have, and we're going to rate what you think of the content. And so like we're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 Christian Guzmans. So 1 Guzman, it's the worst content you've ever seen. 5, you're going to leave the podcast early to go buy all their products because you feel so motivated and moved by the character in the video. Okay?
That's a lot of Guzmans.
So here is our first candidate.
Public service announcement. This is not how you pack your weights away. It takes a little more effort, but it's about consideration for others and making an overall better gym environment for everyone. It's also for your own safety. The heaviest weights go at the bottom, because if you drop it from that height, this is what happens. And we don't want that.
Any reaction to that?
Yeah, I'm already feeling 4.5 goozies. Yeah, I'm already feeling good because, one, it's educational. It's all important gym etiquette. Two, the demeanor and delivery, the voice is very soothing. It's something about that South African accent that I don't know, I just love it. So already 4.5 goozies, I think, out of 5. 4.3, 4.2. That's my first impression.
All right, so here's the second.
Meal prep is too expensive and takes too long, bruh. Hold my protein. Egg fried rice. Add your cooking spray to the pan. What am I, in Charlie's bedroom? Add 3 eggs, cup of rice, and then mix it together. Add in vegetables of choice and a little bit of soy sauce. Let that cook through for a little bit, and you're good to go. This meal cost less than $1, took around 5 minutes to make, and it's tasty as fuck.
Yeah, I stand by my score.
Do you notice anything between the first video and the second video?
The music's the same. It's a kind of like a skit, then a lesson kind of a thing. That's really all I saw. And he's jacked in both.
Yes, he is jacked in both. Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed is like these people find a winning routine. So like a winning sound and a winning story framework that suits their style. And they just create the same video over and over and over and over again. You guys have both created like longer form content, tried writing newsletters. Like it's exhausting to come up with like 500 interesting words that come out every week, much less every day. One of the things that just seems so awesome about this is like, it seems like pretty formulaic, where you can just kind of bang it out pretty quickly. So this guy's name is Daddy Noel. Do you want to take a guess at how many followers he has across YouTube and TikTok?
20 million.
I got nothing. 8 million. I have no way
8
of guessing.
million. Daddy Noel has amassed 10 million followers. And he was born of TikTok. He was not somebody who had like a huge following, then went to TikTok and just found his thing. And if you look at the comment sections in any of his videos, it's just like all young gym bros who just like look up to him like a father figure. So his most watched video is actually two of his like most watched videos are him doing some dad type stuff, which as a dad myself, I really appreciate. So let me show you one of these.
Since I grew up with no father, I'm going to teach you what I had to learn on my own. This is how to tie a tie. Get the thin side to your chest and cross them over. Take the long side under and pull it through the hole at the top. Take the long side behind and wrap it over the side and through the top again. Now with the long part behind, wrap it around the front and over the top again. Thread it through the hole and pull. Grab the short end behind and the knot and tighten gently. And there you have it, your tie.
Yeah, I want him to tighten me gently. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want. Like when hearing his voice, like again, 4.5 goozies, like it's top tier. It really is.
I thought for sure I was going to get you to 5 with the tie. I thought for sure with the dad.
Yeah, I mean, I dropped it down to 4.2. I'm back up to 4.5. Like I'm in it. I want him to caress me, to rub my head and say, "I'm proud of you, son."
I mean, listen, I am supportive of all this paternal homoeroticism, but I have to say, for me, I know I keep my goozies close to my chest, as we know, but I'm feeling 2.5. I feel bad to say it because I think, listen, I think Daddy Noel's great. I think I might just not be the right demo. I can certainly understand the appeal, but if I'm being really, really honest, I don't think I probably would watch these videos or ever think to look for this person again. But, I've only seen 3 videos. I'm open to have my mind changed. But based on this, if I'm living in my truth, it's a 2.5 goozy over here.
Wow. That's brutal.
But I'm sure he's a good person. And I'd like.
How do you think he makes money?
I mean, I assume sell supplements.
I don't know the answer. Yeah, supplements is going to be my guess.
Is that how everyone makes money?
Nailed it.
Yeah, supplements.
Well, he's a sponsored athlete by Young LA. I don't know how you say it. It's like a clothing brand.
Yeah.
And then he is a co-owner in a company called Rise Supplements. And so we're going to talk about somebody who's making 150, 200,000 a month from their supplement company. I know that this person that we're going to talk about next, who's making 150, 200 grand a month from their supplement company, their website, like the supplement site, is doing about 4,500 organic page views a month. Do you guys want to take a guess of what Daddy Noel's supplement site is doing in terms of page views?
287,000 views a month.
175,000.
I'm overshooting it because I love him so much, but yeah, makes sense. Yes.
I mean, that's insane. Like,
So we're assuming
obviously,
he's doing okay.
we can't just kind of like use it apples to apples, because there's obviously a lot of things to take into consideration there. But I would be surprised to find out that he was doing any less than 800 to $1 million a month in supplements, which is just.
So
you'd be okay
Daddy
with that?
Noel's kids are going to eat. Daddy Noel's kids they'll have new shoes.
Well, they are only going to eat fried rice, though.
They will. That's
It's the
true.
only
But
thing
honestly,
that they're allowed to eat.
that did look fucking good, though. To be real, like I'm legit like, oh, I never thought. Great idea.
You gave him 2.5. You gave him
I know,
2.5.
I know.
I wanted to circle back to something you said, John, which was the formula kind of aspect to this. And I'm curious about what Mark has to say about this. And this will, I think, will come up again as we go through some of these other content creators. It is interesting that you're able to kind of find something that works and then just like keep cranking out the same thing over and over and amass like a following, and you can monetize that following. But from an art creation perspective, like that's like, I think, the worst part, because you get trapped in the algorithm and you basically are a slave to, well, I can only like Mr. Beast is probably like, you know, probably very happy and probably happy doing the stuff he does. But like, I've only seen like a couple of videos, but all of it seems to be around just like, I'm going to pay you a ridiculous amount of money to do some stunt. And like, that's the thing that got clicks. And like, that's the thing he probably like did. And that's great. And this person, same thing. I'm going to do like a funny skit with the same sound. And then I'm just going to do that over and over and over. You're locked in. And now you can't get out of it, because this is what the audience wants and what the algorithm wants and is demanding of you. And so, you know, I can see that being a little stifling from an art creation perspective. If you're just having to do, it's the same reason why artists and bands, like, they get caught into a genre, and when they want to experiment in another one, their fan base freaks out and then they are sad. And then, so I don't know, something I've been thinking about as we're starting to create content. It's just something that's been rolling around in my head. That's
Definitely
the flip side of that coin.
Definitely something that's on the forefront of every gym owner's mind. It's just
No, of course not. I understand. I'm sure everyone watching would be like, I would love to just have 10 million TikTok followers doing the same video selling supplements. 100%.
So I do think there is a takeaway here, which is that I think your point is well taken, Matteo, that this at a certain point presumably becomes a grind. Now, admittedly, there are some people that thrive in this kind of constraint. So I'm, a former actor. My wife's a Broadway performer. If you're doing the same Broadway show 8 times a week, sometimes for some people sticking a show for 10 years, which I can't personally imagine, some people are able to find some creativity within the constraints of that. I think certainly money helps. If we're all being really honest, which we like to be honest with the show, money helps. And then you develop this perverse like audience pull mechanism, which we're just starting to understand psychologically how Twitter pretty clearly actually ruins the brain function of a lot of people. They really become the most horrible caricatured version of themselves because they're responding to the dopamine feedback of audience pull. Now, this is a little bit, less, I think, insidious maybe for who they are as a human. And they're also actually making directly money. It's not just the likes, though the money arguably comes from the likes. But I think the takeaway for gym owners are you willing to just run the damn play? If you have the thing, or is your boredom going to incur, and I'm not saying that's even a wrong thing to do, but it's like the person that's the rock star. Well, if you're really good at this thing and that's what your audience wants and you don't want to do it anymore, that's totally fine, but the market doesn't really care what you want. And there is probably a distinction between what has you fulfilled as an artiste versus what makes you money. And I imagine there's a lot of variability from some of these people. Some of them probably love it because they're like, this is great. I got to play. I run the play. And then there likely are others that are like, I don't want to film another one of these, but I've just got a big mortgage and I want that, I really want to buy the jet.
Right.
So, Daddy Noel, 4.5 from Mateo, and 2.5 from Mark Fisher.
I feel bad, but just being honest.
All right. Well, let me introduce you to PapaSwolio.
I told you to go to the fucking gym. I fucking told you. Get off your ass and go to the fucking gym.
I absolutely was not prepared for the hairiest person I've ever seen just coming at me, like straight at me, commanding me to go to the gym. I'm actually now sweating. I was not ready for that.
I want to sample more of this fellow's repertoire. I want to understand what else he
Sure.
does. That was
Sure.
No, that was
Yeah,
good.
just like this?
Let me.
Go to the fucking gym. Go to the fucking gym. Go to the fucking gym. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Go to the fucking gym.
I mean, again, like it's the playbook. He found the play. Yeah. It's the same line over and over, but I can see it like different costumes, different settings. I'm just going to say the same bit over and over,
and a different prop, and
But yeah, do we have one more? I think I need one more.
Of course we do.
Yeah, give me one more.
6 plus 2 minus 4 divided by 4.
Equals go to the gym.
Very good. Your brain can function at a minimum level. I'm really proud of you. That means you're going to understand the next words coming out of my mouth. Go.
Yes. Okay, good. Yeah. I think part of me feels like I owe a high 4s out of 5 Goozies. However, I do, because I asked for more of it. I asked for more of the content. But I do think I like kind of the variety of the previous one. So yeah, 4.1 Goozies out of 5.
Oh, it's still very nice. Very
still pretty high.
Gator.
Yeah, I'm thinking right now 4.5. But with the caveat, 4.5 right now. I don't know how long this shtick would work for me. I imagine at a certain point, but I can't put it past. This is just my introduction to this gentleman's work. I wouldn't put it past him to continue to find just slightly different variations to, in spite of myself, laugh at just the most minute variations of the same shtick over and over.
And you're waiting for the drop because it's coming. That most recent one is like math problem. Math problem. Like, okay, but when's he gonna lay it on? When's he gonna tell me to go to the gym? Oh, he told me. He told me to go. Yes, he told me. I get it. Like I could watch a lot of those for sure. Yeah.
Well, you can stitch on TikTok. So there's a feature called stitching, and so you can take his video and use it to create your own video.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? So there are a lot of people who, they'll be like, go to the fucking gym. And they'll just turn around and be like, me? And then he's like, go to the fucking gym. And then it pans back to them and they play off of that. And it basically it's like he's an actor in thousands of different plays because it's just like the viral potential of this is so high.
Yeah.
And he's just such a character that stitching him gets a lot of views. And so he was tailor-made for that platform. And so, what do you think? Does he have more or less of a following than Daddy Noel?
I'm going to guess slightly less. That's my guess.
I guess slightly less, too.
You guys are correct. 3 million followers. How does he make his money?
Clothing and supplements.
Yeah, maybe some go to the fucking gym merch.
I think some go to the fucking gym shirts, hats. I think clothing, go to the gym, plushy pillows. Yeah.
Yeah. So PapaSwolio makes his money with merch and programs.
Merch and programs. There you go.
Yeah, he hasn't expanded into supplements just yet. We're going to brainstorm business ideas for these guys later. But one of the things that I will say, one of his most popular videos is he's telling people to stop scrolling and go to bed. So he is a
So
two-trick
he has
pony.
some variety. He has some
But
variety.
that's the thing. You can then branch out, go to bed, drink water, give your friend a hug. Like there's lots of different spin-offs that I could see working.
I mean, like he's commanding. He's commanding. It feels good to just be told what the fuck to do.
Daddy, that personality is working. That caring father figure. PapaSwolio is just a drill sergeant. He's a motivator. He gets you going, but also an archetype that works on the platform. All right, who's ready for the next one?
I am.
I found one.
Okie dokie. Let me introduce you to Joey Swoll, the CEO of Gym Positivity.
Don't you know who I am? Remember my name. Say, I'm gonna live forever.
So because this woman's watching you perform an exercise at the gym, a shared space, you felt the need to post a video labeling her as a Karen, and then you caption it, "Somebody wishes they were still young and hot." Really? You don't know better? This is the definition of toxic gym culture. How about we normalize that if somebody's looking at you or watching you, maybe it's out of admiration, maybe they're trying to learn something new. I know I've learned so much over the years by simply watching the people in the gym that know what they're doing. And you know what? B stance RDLs, a great exercise that you're doing, isn't really common knowledge. More than likely, she's simply trying to learn something new. So young lady, if you want to be a leader in fitness, you have to work on more than your body. Have a great heart. Be kind and respectful to others. Be better than that.
So I do think this is a big missing piece in the kind of fitness guru sphere. There's a lot of stuff for the body, obviously, training and nutrition. There's a lot of stuff now we talked about last episode about mindset, mind training, meditation. So a lot of mind gym work.
Surviving waterboarding.
Right. So exactly. A lot of mental, the mental part of the game. There's not a lot about the heart. There's not a lot about what's in here when it comes to training. And I think that's a missing piece that no one's thinking about. And this guy, I think, he's found it. He's found that vein. I think he's found a winning formula here with that. So more power to him. I like it.
Mark, you and your business partner Keeler publish a lot of information out into the world about culture. It's something you guys are known for and feel very passionate about. Is this guy a good steward of gym culture, in your opinion?
I think so. I certainly like the salty, sweet vibes of somebody looking like that coming out as an advocate. I do note, just as an observation without judgment, there's a little bit of an irony of like, you better be nice to people, you bitch. You better be nice to people in the gym, you dumb whore, you obvious fucking idiot. Don't you know it's about kindness, you fucking idiot? It's like, okay. But I mean, I appreciate the overall sentiment. I really was quite taken with him opening up some curiosity about what are some other narratives we could tell about this. How do we make everyone feel seen and humanized in the gym? But it was maybe just like pressed on the gas a little bit too hard. I was like, oh, this is an interesting irony.
It's very reminiscent of Peacemaker.
Right.
He was in Suicide Squad, and now he's got the HBO show where it's like, I want world peace so bad, I'll fucking kill for it. You know what I mean?
Or it's like Mr. It's like Mr. Burns. Like, Mr. Burns, you have everything. Why? And I know I'd give it all away for just a little bit more. Like,
right. Exactly.
But to be fair, I'm being hard on him. I mean, I think he's hitting it like 5% too hard. So I'll give some space. I imagine his experience of that is I'm giving some badly needed direct, tough love. But I do think there maybe, could have been a different way of approaching it that was more in the way of being of what I think he's attempting to advocate for.
Well, let's watch another one. We'll get another sample here. Here he is reacting to someone filming somebody else benching 185 pounds.
Press. There you go. Pretty much all you. Come on. You got this. Let's go. Press. Come on.
Making fun of a kid because he can only bench 185, then making fun of his form in the comments and attacking his workout partner for motivating and pushing him. I wish I had a workout partner that pushed me like that. Then you pin the video because that's the first thing you want people to see when they come to your page is that toxic gym culture. Guys, this is one of the things I hate the most about the gym today in social media. It's people thinking they're better than others because they're bigger or stronger. Well, buddy, you're not. But I'll tell you what, if you want to try being a leader, if the kid has bad form, why not go help him out? Or you can simply put your headphones in, turn your music up, and mind your own damn business. Be better than that.
So I will also say real quick, this whole shtick would not work if he wasn't so fucking big. Like, he's so huge.
If it was me
that-
saying it, I would be like,
Right.
get out of here.
Right,
Take
get
your
out of
fucking
here,
wig and
guy.
go
No
fuck
one can.
yourself.
Like, it only works because he's so massive.
Yeah, and
this
you're like
guy.
a little like, okay, don't hit me though.
You're right, exactly. Like, this whole thing would, like, all he's saying is, like, I think good points, all true. I think that's good. But yeah, would not work coming from me or probably Mark.
Maybe.
Or
And
maybe,
There are
I
a lot
don't
of
know.
there are a lot of people who stitch him like that don't look like that,
Right.
And that's become a whole genre, where it's like it is funny. You're not you definitely aren't the only person with that observation. So there are like skinny people who do the exact same thing, or like there are like duets, like people will act out like in the gym a video of his, and millions and millions upon millions of views. So
Well, there you go.
I mean,
there's
it's-
something there, you know. You got a good
Yeah.
you got a good eye for it.
Okay, well,
There's
there
an
you go.
interesting dynamic too, I think, in that I imagine there are people that are actually very earnestly and sincerely drawn to this. Like, this guy's standing up for kindness. He's got some righteous indignation. And then there are other people that just find him funny and are like laughing at his expense, and then
Yeah.
maybe some combination in. And that's the thing, of course, that's hilarious about these platforms in general, is there's virtually always some of that going on. That there's always people that are really into it earnestly, and people that are using it because it's funny to stitch into other videos and get comedy out of it. I'm kind of here for all of it.
Well, whatever it is, it's working because he has a super passionate fan base. I got one more Joey Swoll before we give the official rating. Here is one where he is reacting to someone who posted an angry video of themselves because someone walked across their shot while they were posing in the gym.
So because you take your shirt off in the middle of a crunch gym, putting your phone in the walkway to flex, you feel entitled where nobody can walk by. And if they do, you get to call them an effing dummy and post them on social media. Then you pin a comment on your TikTok saying, I want Joey Swoll to duet this. I hope his Swoll army comes for me. First off, there is no Swoll army. There is nothing special about me. There is only the gym and fitness community. You're a part of it. I'm a part of it. That young woman is a part of it. My goal is to make the gym a safer, better place for everyone to feel comfortable so they can go and better themselves. Your video does the opposite. The sad part is that you look amazing. You have a great physique. You can truly be a leader in fitness, yet you chose the opposite. I hope you learn to do better, young man, and respect people. Mind your own business.
The sad thing is, you're beautiful. You look so amazing. The sad part is, you're just gorgeous, and you know you could be the best, but you're not because you're mean right now. So, yeah, I think 3.5 out of 5 goozies for me. I love the messaging, but yeah, I don't know, something about the vibe is just a little too aggro for me. But otherwise, yeah, I love the message, and I love the focus on the heart part for sure. But 3.5.
I kind of feel I'm going to give him 4 goozies. I think overall I largely agree with the sentiment. Similarly, for me it is maybe just 10% to aggro, and there is something I do find sweet about him talking, calling them young man, young lady, and talking about respect. So there's a certain firmness to it that is maybe a little further than I would go, but we all have a role to play in making a nicer, kinder world, and I realize that is a very important role that an individual like this can play. And I think he's got really nice eyes. I think he's got really nice dreamy eyes.
I did notice that in this video more than the other ones. The eyes, the eye game.
Yeah, dreamy eyes he's got.
Yeah.
How does he make his money?
Workout programming and merch. Only because I haven't seen a lot of talk about training, so I feel like pivoting to supplements would be.
He's not there yet.
Yeah, it would be harder.
Yeah.
So I think I'm guessing merch, and maybe brand ambassador for some stuff. I don't know. Those are my guesses. Not sure.
For Planet Fitness.
Yeah, exactly. For Crunch or something. Yeah, for Planet Fitness. Honestly, that makes sense. That makes the most sense. That team up. Yeah.
Opportunity there.
What do you think, Mark?
I'm
Where does he make
thinking.
his money?
I'm thinking mostly merch. It's hard because with only these 3 videos, I right now haven't seen him. He's clearly jacked, right? But we haven't seen him explicitly discuss anything about training methodologies. And if the whole shtick is like, I'm like the niceness police that's keeping it nice up in here, I'm not. I don't know necessarily that that's the person you go to get really, popping packs, but maybe. But he might have other videos that are more focused on actual fitness methodologies.
The nice police is like an oxymoron. It's just insane, but I love it.
Yeah.
That's like Peacemaker.
Yeah, so
Yeah, exactly.
he makes money from merch, and he makes money from sauces.
Sauces. Okay.
He sells 10-calorie sauces.
You dirty little mix. What a little zingamaroo.
I could see like
Curveball.
be sweet. Here's my sweet and spicy sauce.
And do we think Joey Swoll has more or less followers than PapaSwolio?
I feel like more.
Think more. I think a lot. I think he's got the most of the 3. Is my guess.
I can see him being appealing.
8 million followers for Joey Swoll, 3 million for PapaSwolio. So Joey Swoll has earned the right to be the CEO of Gym Positivity.
Yeah.
Now, in my humble opinion, I think he has the second strongest community of commenters in the fitness sphere. And to be fair, this is the male fitness sphere. Maybe we do a separate episode with all the female fitness influencers who are crushing it with vertical video. It's just they just don't make their way to my feed as frequently, so it's kind of a bias sample. Let me show you who I think has the best comment section in all of fitness vertical video.
How you know if you have low testosterone. And a lot of young males these days are actually suffering from low testosterone. The first test, do you wake up with your soldier saluting you like there's no tomorrow? Is there a tent in your bed, or are you waking up to a soft noodle? If it's a soft noodle, your testosterone levels are definitely very low. Second of all, do you have a very high drive? Can you have 2-3 times a day, or is once pushing the envelope for you? The third thing is guys that have high free testosterone, effort feels good. They want to train. They get excited to lift weights, to box, play sports. If for you, going to the gym, lifting some weight is a drag and exhausting, your testosterone is low.
The whole time I had just "Hello Darkness, my old friend" just playing. Because Greg, I have missed you. It's been way too long, and I'm really excited to explore and just talk about how we got from get a body like Bruce Wayne to here are my dick pills. I just love that. I love that journey. I love that character arc for everyone, and I'm so glad he's back in my life. Thank you, John.
So maybe explain. This one was kind of cheating because I knew Teo, you had studied Greg O'Gallagher a lot because of his marketing and previous videos he's put out, and then Mark, I believe you actually know him IRL. So this one's kind of cheating, but we couldn't have done a viral video segment without including Greg O'Gallagher. But maybe, Teo, you can give us a brief on why you know him as our resident expert on all things alpha.
Well, I just know him from studying ads, like on Facebook, when looking at what Hormozy was doing with Gym Launch and all these other people in the space who were just like pushing out a lot of video sales letters, particularly. Because when I was trying to figure out how to shoot and what to put in a video sales letter, like Greg has some of the best. His Bruce Wayne one on YouTube is still one of my favorite videos.
Intermittent fasting has been the most powerful health discovery I have ever made. It has made staying lean and building muscle effortless. It's boosted my work productivity, and it's given me the freedom to eat like a king every day.
And so when it comes to video sales letters, Greg is he's a top G. He's a 5 out of 5 Goozies when it comes to that. I think, And yeah, I mean, he's been in YouTube for a long time. I think earlier it was more just like, I think it was a different brand. It was like GOG9 or yeah, Greg O'Gallagher 9, something like that. And it was more about just following his fitness journey as like bodybuilding and whatever. Then it pivoted to Kino Body. You know, he still uses ClickFunnels landing pages. If you go on his site and you click on one of the, you know, he's still building dope funnels. You know what I mean?
One funnel away.
Exactly. And so, you know, I watched a fair amount, and his videos are just so, the long form ones especially are just amazing to watch. It's just all, and it's all this stock footage of just like him with you know, beautiful women, and then just lifting with bros, and then just eating. Like my favorite phase is the long hair mustache caveman Greg from like a couple years ago, because it was just videos of with the ponytail like pinned up and just like eating a bunch of steak on like a long table, and he looked like a Viking. And anyway, it's all this stuff about, yeah, the core thesis was movie stars get in really good shape in a very short amount of time, right? If they get called for a role in a Marvel movie, they have like 3 months to get totally jacked. How do they do it? I have the secrets because I have the same body and type and build. And if you want to learn, click here to opt in, and you can learn too. And I haven't kept tabs on it for the last couple of years, and now we've obviously turned into pushing our supplements, particularly testosterone boosting. You want to be a virile man, you know, you want to be strong. Check this thing out. I don't know if I give a lot of insight on who Greg is, but
Well, who would
he's a
you say
fantastic
Greg's target audience is? Like, who buys Greg O'Gallagher's products?
I have to assume it's 14-year-old boys, but the other piece, 14-year-old, like 20-year-olds, 14-year-olds, 18-year-olds would be my guess. Although I do think he has like a high ticket like coaching program. Like I saw a recent sales video that I was hoping we could clip, where it's like, if you're making 6 figures, you want to live the movie star life, here's what we're going to do. Join my program. You're going to live the movie. You're going to have sex all the time. You're going to be looking like a great guy. You're going to have sex, and women will just be attracted to you, and your business is going to explode.
When you build the body of a movie star, that's when life becomes incredible. You begin to separate from the pack. And of course, you have complete abundance in your dating life when you're in movie star shape. You have way more attraction in your relationship, and if you're single, you start getting attention from beautiful women that never gave you the time of day before.
So obviously he has a high ticket program too.
You should join. Why aren't you in it?
Honestly, I thought about it, like because this video was just so good. You know, I just wanted to support. You know, but anyway.
So it's basically like, you know, 14-year-old incels, right? It's kind of like the bread and butter.
I mean, that's clearly, I wasn't going to say incel part, but yes, clearly there's some overlap with like TikTok pickup artist, Manosphere, and then Greg O'Gallagher's just like in the orbit somehow,
I mean,
you know?
I think I could see this honestly being appealing to a even early 20s Mark Fisher fitness, because the promise, the benefit couldn't be better. It's just the best possible benefit, right? It's like, eat the foods you want, be surrounded by beautiful women, be specifically super jacked, specifically like individuals you look up to in movies that are playing superheroes.
You need the shoulder to waist ratio, Mark.
Yep.
That's
true. That's
the
true.
key.
That's true. And this
science.
Yeah. That is really what a lot of these individuals want.
Greg believes in the shoulder to waist ratio, but he's into a new one now.
Here's why you should train your neck. If you look at a lot of male models and movie stars, they are lean, but they actually have thicker necks. This actually makes them look more attractive and powerful. If you look at someone that has a skinny neck, even if they have good muscle size, something looks off. Here are my favorite 3 exercises to train your traps. Lying on a bench doing neck curls with a 10 or 25 pound plate, reverse neck curls, and lastly, hitting some leaning dumbbell shrugs will really thicken up the traps and neck.
So, but John, you and I say this to each other all the time. Every time we work out together and there's deadlifts, we always say it to each other, make sure you're using your neck. Just make sure you're engaging. Like I've said it to you, you've said it to me. We've often been shirtless. Like
I mean, listen, Mike Boyle,
that's just true.
Dan John, like that's the most common. Eric Cressy, all the greats of our industry. That's the wonderful thing is like much neck hypertrophy as you can get it, right. And then chicks will want to do you, and you wake up with a boner.
Never, ever skip neck day.
Right.
So the reason I brought him up, other than the fact that he's amazing, is that his comment section is out of control. So he has like his 14-year-old incel community, which is basically just like come from Reddit to his YouTube videos to just shit post him. And so I wanted you guys to read some of them. So like people who are fans of Greg O'Gallagher start all their comments on Greg's videos with Greg the type of guy too. So maybe we can read a couple of them. We got some actors. Teo, you want to read the first one?
Greg the type of guy to congratulate a starving homeless man for not breaking his fast. Greg the type of guy that be checking on his friends' morning woods to make sure their testosterone is high. Oh wow!
Do bee swim. So far, we haven't had a single person who is not just like just like an avatar, no picture of themselves.
Right. Greg, the type of guy who wakes up with a soft noodle and says he has high testosterone.
And they're like millions. This one's good.
Greg, the type of guy who yells at his pee-pee for not having abs. So that's the thing. Like,
only one like for that one. Oh, we're gonna help him out.
I've seen these, and I actually am not convinced these are his fans, or it's like they are his fans, but it's like a love hate. Like
I'm really confused by this. I'm getting
like,
mixed, strong mixed messages from the incels on this.
And I googled like origin of Greg the type of guy to meme, and like there was not a lot there. There was like one comment in a random Reddit thread that links to a video. It's like, if you don't get it, watch this. And then the videos are private on YouTube. So it's like, I felt like I got really close, but I couldn't figure it out. Maybe John, like, you know, but like I still have not decoded this.
Like after that Russian election interference and Facebook cracked down, like all those guys needed work. And so Greg hired them all. It's like all those bot farms to just write Greg the type of guy content on his short form video.
Well, because he owns it now, right? A lot of his videos now have that in the description when he's like promoting a product or whatever. Like,
I mean, listen, we can't discount this might be where social media is headed next, right? Right now, sure, short form vertical video, long form, only Greg is the type of guy, ... That might be the main thing we all should be trend hijacking right now.
Should we change the channel to Greg the type of guy?
Yeah.
You heard it here first, listeners.
Greg O'Gallagher, how many goozies we giving him?
I'm giving him 2.5 goozies out of 5 because I don't love the shift. I don't love the shift. I mean, yeah, I don't love the shift to dick pills. Also, just like really weird. Like this one was not a surprise, as John said. I went in to check in on Greg before this episode. Like a lot of weird choking videos, a lot of weird fight tutorials now. It's a lot of like, you want to win a fight, here's how you do it. And it's just like, Greg, what happened, man? I thought you were just an awkward Canadian who was like, I'll show you how to be like Bruce Wayne, and that we were all gonna have fun together. Now it's like, here's how to fight and wake up with a hard dick every day. Like, I'm just a little sad about it. But another question that comes to mind is like, did he try it out and just saw he was getting good responses and now is leaning into it more, the manosphere stuff? Or was it like, this is what I can see, this is performing well on TikTok, so as I shift to TikTok, I'm going to have to change my character a bit? Like, I just don't know. Maybe we'll never know, chicken or the egg kind of a situation, but
I think anyway. I really attribute a lot of this to audience pull, and it's almost perversely, the savvier the individual is, the better they are, the more receptive and sensitive they'll be to what their audience wants. And the more they will become, at least on social media, of course, because, you know, like, again, I don't like really know Greg. Like we've hung out maybe like 2 times several years ago, and he was a totally nice guy. And I don't know that anybody, particularly people that are using this explicitly for marketing, that's a really representation of who they are. It's like if you watch my YouTube channel where I'm like, all right, gym owners, yeah. You know, like, I mean, my face does move a lot in life, but not quite that much. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly this, but I bet it's more maybe fed by potentially evolving interest on Greg's part, but I would assume his savvy watching what the army of incel trolls seem to be responding to, and then which is of course leading to things that, you know, for him drive his business, right? This is not just him doing it for shenanigans. He's a business person.
One little marketing takeaway for the gym owners listening is like another way. Like, this guy gets a lot of traffic to his site. It's like, you know, over 400,000 views like a month on his site, and a lot of that is like search. He's showing up in search results because he has videos or blog posts. If you Google how to train like Christian Bale or how to get Batman body, like, his stuff will come up. And so that's driving a lot of his clicks. And then the other piece are the direct links, that's just him. Just every video he does is like, if you want to learn how to get your dick hard, click the link below for my supplements, and then someone will click it, and that's how they end up on their site. So yeah, I guess the takeaway there is like, create content that's good for search, and then also put call to actions in your vertical form videos. Lessons from Greg.
So what did you give him? How many goozies, Mark?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I think I have a similar response to Matteo. I think, again, these were only a couple clips. They didn't necessarily speak to me. So for me personally, I'm going to go with 3 goozies. But to Greg's defense, I think part of what's happening here a little bit is, while I'm sure, again, because he's a smart person and very successful, I'm certain what he's doing is making sense and serving his business needs. Similar to what I'm picking up with Matteo, I just thought those original videos were so over the top and kind of hilarious and tacky in many ways too.
Yes.
But also kind of brilliant and so clearly effective. Not unlike a previous episode where we were looking at the Wake Up Warrior stuff. I think Garrett White was his name, where just the sheer cinematography, the work that went into it, and as somebody also that comes
lot of
from
drone
an entertainment
shots
background,
in those old ones.
Yeah, it was just really impressive. It was really so benefit rich. Like, yep, I know this is. You're giving them exactly what they all want, that, you know, a lot of people, I'm not judging one way or the other, don't either have the courage or the ability to step over what they know they can really promise scientifically for the results you'll get. And, you know, you got to go where you got to go, but I just miss the old long form cinematography Batman vids. But just me.
Do you know the Lean Gains guy, Martin?
Oh yeah, Martin Birkin. Oh yeah.
So apparently Greg's program is just a ripoff of that program. I don't know how true it is, but if you go on the Reddit comments, it's just apparently just a ripoff.
Yeah, it's a lot of that comes from, again, my corner of like the evidence-based world, of which Martin Birkin was a card-carrying member. And yeah, I think I remember loosely some drama around, because Birkin became very well known in the nerdy circles, which I happen to be in, but really didn't become a widespread success. So people in the know and like super nerds like myself always knew that's where it all kind of came from. But then there were other individuals that took the overall idea, which again is not complete rocket science, and then were really just able to brand the hell out of it and make a crazy business by drone shots and mansions and cars and models.
Lambos.
Yeah.
Lambos.
Yeah, the evidence based is that's the kind marketing for that's like the incel corner of the fitness industry. There's the evidence based and the money based version of the fitness industry.
Right.
Why can't we both?
And so the evidence based, like, they all have very mean things to say about all these people, but nobody watches them because the money based has the audience.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few crossovers. There's a handful, but I think on balance, that's not incorrect to say there. And because there tends to be an inverse correlation with people that are, you know, outside of the occasional idiosyncratic savant like myself, there tends to be an inverse correlation between people who are very rigorous about like data and process and precision versus showmanship and drama and having a gimmick and sales. But But together as a society, we give ourselves what we lack. And as we can see, society, we can all agree, is going very, very well.
Well, thanks for playing the game, and we would like to congratulate the first winner of the Gym World Worldwide short form vertical video contest, PapaSwolio.
I told you to go to the fucking gym. I fucking told you. Get off your ass and go to the fucking gym.
Love that guy.
Wow.
For our next story, we are going to talk about a mega trend that is helping this powerlifter make around $350,000 a month. Previously on Gym World, we talked about how ClassPass released a report saying that strength training was the #1 fitness class of 2022, and Sculpt was the fastest growing fitness class. And so while strength training isn't anything new or trendy, the fact that more women want to get strong is. I remember back from our CrossFit days, Mateo, where like the #1 thing we would have to answer, the #1 question female prospects would give us is, will CrossFit make me bulky? And it was like so frequent that we'd have to answer that like HQ actually made a video that was basically answering the question, will CrossFit make me bulky? And it was like these really good looking models just doing a bunch of CrossFit exercises and being like, no. And that video has over 3 million views. It's one of the most watched videos on CrossFit's channel, showing that like a lot of people had that question. But for whatever reason, it seems like that's no longer a thing. And in my opinion, I think it's because of social media. Like actual like female influencers are showing how they actually look good. And the answer is they lift weights. And so we've talked a lot about how companies like World Gym, Core Power Yoga, New York Sports Club, and Exponential have all bought or started fitness concepts in the last year or two in order to kind of like catch up and be ready for that trend. But we haven't talked about anyone who's actually making a lot of bank from it. So I want to introduce you guys to Megsquats.
I just need a bag. Need a bag right now. Need a bag right now.
So what do you think that is? Other than amazing.
I'm assuming it's an ad. But for what? I couldn't tell you.
It is an ad for her supplement company, Buff Chick Supplements. And so Megsquats is kind of an OG influencer. She was like a power lifter. She started, I don't know where she started. Either she's big on both YouTube and Instagram. Yeah. And she was like very popular in the CrossFit community because she just posted pictures of her like being good looking and lifting a lot and like generally spreading like good fitness advice. And so she got pretty big there, and she's been vlogging consistently for 7 years and now doing vertical video of her own. But throughout that 7-year period, she has been talking about how getting strong is a great thing. And she's taken that message all the way to the bank, guys. Found out in this video.
Money. Let's talk money. We're going to get straight into it. Meg, how much money do you make? Okay. Well, the brands that I just mentioned in the intro make more than what I do. Our total year-to-date revenue for 2022 is about $3 million among the 3 companies.
The 3 companies are an apparel company, a supplement company, and a workout app. This video was filmed in October, so there were 2 months left. I did a little digging with her traffic. You got to remember she's business to consumer, so you have like Black Friday and the holidays, so typically November and December are great B2C months, and I'm guessing she's making about $350,000 a month right now.
If I can circle back, one thing I guess I'm not clear on, and maybe you gentlemen can speak to, and I know there's some Reddit conversation on this, I am not clear about the video of them dancing buried in money. I can't really follow the logic of how when you were, it's one thing if like you're selling business coaching, it's already perverse enough. See, look at all the money I'm making off you. You give me money and then I've got to keep giving me your money. And
look
then,
at my jet.
But then you could be like, But you too, then you can sell other people, and they'll be giving you their money, and then you'll be dancing in a box of money while it rains on you. But that's not even a business coaching. It's just talking about the supplement sales. So I cannot figure out what the thought process was behind that video.
So this subreddit is called Gym Snark, and it's just like a congregation of people who say mean things about fitness influencers. And
they
so,
better not
as
get their,
I would,
what's his face with green eyes? Green eyes, the niceness police. Better be careful. Niceness police finds you, Gym Snarkers.
Joey
Part
Swoll,
of the fitness community.
Yeah, that's where your next 1 million followers are. They're in Gym Snark. So yeah, this came on here saying, maybe it's just me, but does anyone else feel Buff Chick Supplements marketing videos for the restock are slimy? It just gives me the ick. Did either of you guys feel that way? Because I saw this and I was like, this is awesome.
No, I 100% felt what what Mark just said earlier and what this Reddit comment said. Like, yeah, I totally don't understand why you would be flexing on how much you're making off of your supplement sales and think that would translate to more supplement. Maybe it will, just because of how people are obviously talking about this ad, but
It's
yeah,
even
I don't
stranger
get it.
if she's also saying that she's not really taking a massive salary, she's not making a lot of money from the business. She's like, we're making all this revenue of which I'm actually putting back in the business, and I don't have a Lambo. I just have this room full of money. So,
well, to be fair, I think she's not explicit about distributions. And then like her partner, who also works in the business and owns 49% of it, he takes salary, he takes distributions. Right. And
Yeah,
like
I
we
mean,
know they're investing
sure,
in stuff that makes life a little better. Like she
Okay,
posted
so,
a video
yeah, so
being
she-
like,
yeah.
here's my $100,000 garage gym.
My
And
new
it's just
gym.
Like,
Yeah.
her just
So she's
being like,
not-
I
she's
knocked
not-
down a wall.
yes.
There's so much shit everywhere.
she's not financial independence, retire early. But regardless, even that aside, even if she is making a lot of money, it just seems strange with any brand to be advertising to your consumers how much money you're making off of them.
Dude,
Totally
are
weird.
are you apathetic dragoness on here? Is that your Reddit name? Because she really, I don't get it at all. They aren't selling a How to Make Millions masterclass. So all this communicates is that they're making a shitload of money off their customers. Nothing to do with the actual product.
This is exactly how I feel.
But wasn't there, because I looked at this thread a little bit and I couldn't find the original Instagram because I didn't look. But there was a comment in the original Instagram. She made some responses to it because clearly there was a thought process, right? I just can't follow. I'm just so curious to know like what the thinking was that this was something that customers would be like, yeah, I do want to give you even more money. You're getting so much money from me.
It's like, in case you didn't know, Meg is rich AF. And they're like, we know. She made at least 2 videos of this. Like, there wasn't just one. There was a second throwing money video.
Yeah, and then there was the one that you just played where it's like, this is how much money I make. This is what a distribution is. You can take profit out of the business. Like, my husband and I do it too.
So, like, what's interesting about this, aside from the fact that she's absolutely crushing it, doing a great job, and to me, I think she's spreading a strong message. A great
Listen,
message.
she's great. To be clear, I'm totally not knocking her. I'm just confused. I don't even mind transparency about money. I think we probably all really like that. I actually think the world would be better if you had more credible stuff because there's so much bullshit and because people that are not bullshit tend to understandably maybe hold it a little closer to the chest. But what the hell, John? Tell us.
I mean, I love the fact that she's a power lifter. Like, anybody who's been in the gym
Yeah.
world a while and has like hired power lifters or like been to powerlifting meets or anything like that, like, powerlifting is not a niche in fitness that's known for just making a lot of money. In
Not
fact,
a
like
lot of
Elite
private jets
FTS,
for
which is like
powerlifters.
Dave Tate, who owns Elite FTS, which is an equipment vendor for powerlifting gear. They do a lot of like college weight rooms as well. He wrote an article called "Can You Make Money as a Powerlifter?" Let me read you the first line. The simple answer to that is no.
Yeah, it's and I will say this. One thing interesting about that, I heard a podcast interview was recently with Wayne Norton, who competes as a powerlifter, and I really actually appreciate it, which is hard for us business-minded, money mavens over here. But one of the points he made was part of what he loves about powerlifting is because there's no money in it. So you're only making maybe a few $1,000s if you win a meet. You're going to lose money being a powerlifter. It's not super mainstream. It's hard to I would imagine there's not massive amounts of sponsorship opportunities. So yeah, I'm with you, John. I appreciate that Meg is.
Well, Megsquat said, "Fuck that nonsense. You can make money in powerlifting." So
go, Meg.
Yeah. My question was, I could think of like a couple male powerlifters that are probably doing mid-single digit millions. I could not think of another self-made female powerlifter that has ancillary or auxiliary. I always confuse those two. That has businesses that do mid-single digit millions. Were you guys able to think of someone?
The two people I thought of that Megsquat reminded me of was like Paleo MG, who also came out of like the CrossFit paleo kind of sphere, and then like eventually ditched all that and was like, I have to lean out and just do like modeling sponsorships and recipes, and that's way easier to make money for some reason. And then the other person was like, I don't know how to say her, Kaiza Fit. She has like 1 million followers on Instagram. She's not a powerlifter either, but she is like a bit like on the thicker side and very much into like RDLs and trap bar deadlifts, and like that was the only person that kind of reminded me of like, lifting barbells, training hard, being a little thicker, it's okay. Like, but yeah, no, I don't know any people quite like Megsquats.
No, I'm sort of. I can't say I'm a real expert on the powerlifting milieu, so it's possible there's people that just have escaped my awareness.
So this is interesting because in a previous episode we talked about how the influencer landscape is changing. Like, it's no longer you become an influencer and some detox tea pays you money and you hold the bag and you get, a few $1,000 for the picture, or you become an affiliate for some clothing brand and, they kick you back a couple bucks every time someone buys something. And while that's still like alive and well, all the largest influencers are now pivoting to starting, buying, owning their business and creating real wealth rather than just quick cash flow. And I found in a video she addressed the same concept, which was cool to hear.
I have stopped doing as many influencer deals to where in 2023 I haven't done. Oh, it's not 2023, is it? In 2022, I've done very few influencer deals. So in 2019, 148,000 of my overall revenue was from influencer deals. Then in 2020, it was 98K. Then in 2021, 76. Now at the third quarter of 2022, I've only made almost 35,000 in influencer deals. That is because I don't get paid as an influencer from any of the brands that I own, and I have more leverage to talk about the brands that I own because I'm obviously a lot more passionate about those brands than I am about any other brand that exists in the world. If you compare even that influencer money that I've been making to even at the best year, which was 150,000, if you compare 150K to the 3 million of revenue, obviously that's not profit, whereas influencer deals mostly profit. Like, obviously you can't really compare them.
So all this to talk about the bigger trend, and this is what I want to talk with you guys about. Right. So she was making, she said like 150 grand in influencer deals, and she kind of choked that off to build her business. And the reason is you can sell a business. Like, influencer deals, just straight cash flow. So if you make 175,000 in influencer deals, you can't like sell Megsquats, right? Like, no one's going to buy her. But she can take Buff Chick supplements, and if she has, 150,000 in profit, someone may come around and buy that for 5 to 10 times annual earnings. So then she's got like a real asset on her hand, and it grows her net worth substantially. So for like every dollar of profit she adds on there, she's adding $5 to $10 of net worth.
Yeah, for sure. And I think even leaving exits aside, though certainly that is maybe the most compelling reason for these individuals to do that, just owning the show and having your own autonomy, having the ability to, particularly if you have the savvy, right? I think that's part of the distinction. If the individual doesn't know how to do this or can't partner with somebody who knows how to do this, it might be better just to shut up and take the check and be an employee and just be like a sponsory person. But if you've got the chops, even outside of building I don't know if this quite qualifies enterprise value, depending on how big the business gets, but you also can really start to make a lot more money. You're keeping a lot of it, because the path to wealth, of course, is generally understood to be ownership, right? It's very hard to do that as an employee.
Or just like a gun for hire.
Yeah. And certainly, if I think the outliers we can think of are almost not even worth talking about. I imagine there's a world where if you have, 20 million followers and you can actually make so much money, it's actually easier to, if you don't care enough and you're just able to make a couple net million and just don't even want to have a business and you just collect checks through Instagram, good on you. But with great love, viewers, I'm not sure many of you are on the route to the old 20 million, but if you are, we'd probably love to have you as a guest and raise our own profiles.
So I put together a list of, this is not a novel idea. I put together kind of a quick list of people in fitness who have had 9-figure exits from building up their companies and selling them using their personal brand and following as distribution. So you guys were given the CEO of Gym Positivity a little heat for his sauce company. Do you remember Mark's Daily Apple?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So he started a sauce company, the Primal Sauce Company, and I believe he sold that for
caveman sauces.
Yeah, the same sauces that cavemen had, and he sold that to Kraft. I think he got $200 million for that.
It's crazy because the reason that works is at the time everyone was like, canola oil is bad. Everything has to have avocado oil instead. Okay, but I like mayonnaise. But everyone makes it with canola oil. Oh, don't worry, we make it with avocado oil. Buy it for $10. Like that was the secret. That was the secret sauce. Was avocado oil. I think, at least in my opinion, that's the reason why I bought his stuff. But anyway.
So the CEO of Gym Positivity may have a 9-figure exit in his future.
Oh yeah.
Next one, workout app. So Kayla Itzines, Sweat with Kayla. Do you guys remember her? She was like the original super duper famous Instagram influencer. She had 1 billion people like doing her workout app, and that got bought for, I believe, like $400 million.
I mean, I was shocked to see that. I have to say, that was shocking to see that level, particularly for something, because I think it's still pretty relying on her personal brand, right? And it's like not a product. So I can only say, well done.
On the supplement front, we don't have a clear 9 to 10 figure exit yet, but it's very clear that you can build a 9 to 10 figure brand using nothing but a supplement and influencer marketing. So the example I have for that is, you guys know Athletic Greens.
Oh yeah.
If you've heard any podcast ever, you've probably heard them sponsoring it. And so last year they raised $115 million at a 1.2 billion valuation.
I have some friends that were in on that raise, which I find fascinating, because 1.2 billion, if you're in at that valuation and you want to get a, let's call it 10x.
Yeah. I'm
struggling to see that get to 20 million, but maybe listen, what they've done is amazing. And they came from my corner of the industry, right? Like 10 years ago, they were or 12 years ago, they were at Crest Sports Performance. Mark Fisher Fitness, the first supplement we offered in 2011, and one of the only affiliate deals I've ever done has been Athletic Greens, which I've religiously used since 2011. So
wow, there you go.
You should have done that deal for equity.
I know I should have. I've even had dinner with Chris Ashton not that long ago. It's relatively recent. I don't know exactly what happened. I mean, he always was a very smart dude and a hustler, but it went from this seemingly pretty successful brand. I'm sure they were growing consistently, but something happened 2 to 3 years ago. I don't know if they got some injection of capital where it went from a pretty seemingly successful supplement brand to holy crap, you have commercials everywhere. Good for them. Good for them.
So we've talked a lot about short form vertical video, people who are doing well, how they're monetizing. If you are a gym owner who wants to take this information and run with it and turn it into money, what are the Gym World top tips for that?
I mean, I will share one, and that is to go all in on the old vertical video. If you're like me and very lazy, particularly if you're already making any video content. So recently, a friend of mine who's a pretty savvy but mean entrepreneur came into my DMs on Instagram and then accosted me after asking my advice about Instagram. And his name is John Franklin. And his question of me was, I noticed you have almost 10,000 followers, but you're not posting on here. And I was like, yeah. And his wise, valiant, vicious bullying question was, do you hate money? So inspired by John's bullying, I forthwith went to go hire a VA almost immediately. And anybody that follows any of my stuff, you'll be seeing, I'm now going to just pillory you, if that's the verb that I think it is, with vertical videos on all of my things. So, and it will probably never be this easy again, because remember, it's going to be a lot harder in 18 months when you have to do some variation of Greg, the type of guy that ...
Yeah, so you see these people and, they're jacked and funny and it's professionally filmed and it's kind of discouraging, right? You're like, I have to start from scratch. The reality is that there just isn't that much competition. People like to say it's saturated, but like we've posted vertical videos from this show and nobody knows who we are and they're bad and they'll just get like 2,000 videos, like 2,000 views on YouTube. Like we've had like multiple shorts do 2,000 views and then we repost them in other places. We get another 2,000 views. And for you specifically, as a gym owner, like there is like location-based targeting. So if you are making content that is specific to Miami or San Francisco or Texas, and you say that, like the algorithm does pick up on it and it does give it to people locally. So you don't have to be the best like how to deadlift person on the internet. You just have to be the best how to deadlift person in your market.
One takeaway I have is, and something we've seen from last episode and even this one, like Greg O'Gallagher also trained as an actor early on in his career. Mark trained as an actor. A lot of these people, they're characters, right? These are skits or characters or shticks or
Yes,
whatever
they don't
you
have
want to call it.
Not a lot of small personalities that we've seen.
Right. And so, like, maybe you didn't do theater in high school, but you can experiment with...
Never too late to join a community
Right,
theater.
that's true, too. But yeah, I encourage you to experiment with creating certain characters or maybe a recurring segment and experiment with that until you find something that resonates with your gym location in Miami or wherever it is, right? Don't be afraid to get weird with it, I guess is my 2 cents.
And if you're worried about cost, it's really inexpensive to make these. Like there are a gazillion people on Fiverr who will take existing content and repurpose it for, $5 to $10 a video. Or there are people who will take native bespoke content and make like a nice looking, well edited short with a lot of motion for $10. So if you're posting one a day, like you're looking at an investment of like $300 a month. So it's not very expensive, especially when you consider like the value of all the traffic you're going to get once you get good. So don't sleep on vertical video. That's all we have for this episode of Gym World. Like and subscribe, and don't forget.
I told you to go to the fucking gym. I fucking told you. Get off your ass and go to the fucking gym.
I love that guy.